I'm Katie Jarvis. I am currently a kindergarten through second grade special education teacher here in Topeka, Kansas for USD 501. I am actually getting my master's in special education, and I am planning to graduate here in May of 2026, so here in 10 months. I will be on year 4 of teaching this upcoming school year. I started off in a regular ed classroom in second grade. I moved to a math interventionist, and then I was sped last year, and I will be doing the same position again, at least for the next couple years. I actually started out at K-State, and I graduated with sociology criminology in 2011. I did not end up using that degree. I ended up becoming an autism therapist for families that were near Fort Riley Army Base, and I did that for 2.5 years. And then I was an autism para at Manhattan High for 3.5 years. That helped me decide I wanted to go back for education, and I knew I wanted the little ones. Like, I knew I wanted the babies. I did not want middle school. I did not want high school though. So I went to K-State, and I actually went and did all the ESL classes and thought I wanted to do ESL. But when I got to Topeka and got to Washburn, I changed my emphasis to special education. While I was at Washburn, I got diagnosed with ADHD and was put on meds. And while at Washburn, I actually started to do very good with my grades and was on honor roll every single semester. I got my certification and graduated from Washburn. I started my master's in SPED of fall in 2024. I currently am not in a leadership position, but I actually thought about pursuing being a consulting teacher in special education or being a vice principal at some point. My mother taught SPED for many years and was a CT in the district I teach at, and is actually part-time at the school she used to teach at as a CT again. And then my grandma was actually in SPED as well and had a pretty high up position, and she was in the district I was in now. I am a huge health person. By that, I mean I eat healthy, I exercise as much as possible. I can be pretty picky though. I really only eat chicken and seafood, so getting protein, yeah, doesn't happen. I also love sports. My cats hate how loud I get when I turn games on. Like, it gets so loud at my house, but that's okay. Some of my teams are the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Giants, the Kansas City Royals, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oh yeah, we just won. Kansas City Current, KU, and Ohio State. I also love music, and I love going to concerts. That's something that my mom and I have done since I was really young, and then my friends and I do a lot. The person I've seen most is definitely Kane Brown. I've seen him 5 times, and I plan to see him every year until he's done. I love him. He is amazing. I also love Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, Kelsey Ballerini, Carly Pierce, Lainey Wilson, Dixie Chicks, Luke Bryan, and Blake Shelton. One final thing is I absolutely love tattoos and piercings. I currently have 6 tattoos, but number 7 is scheduled, and it's going to be a big dream catcher on my upper arm up here. And of course it's going to be color because I love color tattoos. but all of my tattoos have meaning. Otherwise, I would not have them. For me, when I think of a good leader, I actually thought of myself. I thought of someone who is warm-hearted, kind, wants to help the kids with everything. You're not just wanting to help the kids with academics, you're willing to help them with things outside of the classroom. You're good at building relationships, you're compassionate, you're driven, you leave an impact not only on the kids that you work with, but also those kids outside of the classroom that you might not work with, but they know that you work in that building. Also, you're organized, educated, goal-oriented, independent, competitive, time-oriented, and level-headed, and I would say probably a logical thinker too. When I thought of a bad leader, I thought of short-tempered, a procrastinator, not adaptable, not a logical thinker, lack of empathy, not accountable for their actions, not a good listener, no transparency, ignores feedback, lacks integrity, poor communication, and sets unrealistic expectations. And for me, I actually look at poor leadership to help change in a good way. For me, it actually is a driving force for me to step up and try to help where I feel it's lacking. And it also helps me to get more educated so one day I can possibly do their job and help where I feel they're lacking and do better at it. No offense to them, but I'm going to take your job one day. That's my attitude. And then it also helps me talk to the people above them and tell them how I feel that that person could do better. I'm not trying to say, hey, they're doing a bad job. I'm just saying, hey, I see this. I feel they could do better this way. So like, we all are trying to help each other out, you know? And then also, it doesn't usually negatively affect me because I always see good in everything. And I don't think of poor leadership as a bad thing. I think it helps you as an individual. And I think it helps everybody become a better person and a better leader themselves. So poor leadership is not always a bad thing.